We're now going to look at an investment problem. In planning her retirement, Liza deposits some money at 4.5% interest, with twice as much deposited at 5%. Find the amount deposited at each rate if the total annual interest income is $1,885. First, what we'll look at is that Liza is depositing some money. So right here it says that she's depositing some money at 4.5% interest. So if we don't know exactly how much it is, we would say X equals the amount deposited at 4.5% interest. Then it says that twice as much was deposited at 5%. So twice as much would be 2x. So this is the amount deposited at 5% interest. It wants to know the amount deposited at each rate if the total annual, so our time is 1 year, interest income is $1,885. So what we'll look at is the total annual interest is $1,885. Just as a reminder, we're looking at simple interest. Interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. Time is in years, and the rate is written as a decimal. So as we set up our equation, what we're looking at is the interest earned off of the 4.5% account plus the interest earned off of the 5% account. So for the 4.5% account, I'll just write above here 4.5%. We're finding the interest, which is principal rate times time. Then plus, we're finding the total, so we add it up. So plus the 5% interest we find by principal times rate times time is equal to that total interest. So as we fill in our equation here, the principal for the 4.5% account, if we look back up here, principal is how much we put into it. So right here is how much we put in. So we have the principal is X dollars. The rate is a percentage rate as given. We want to write it as a decimal, so we'll do that as 0.045. And our time, as we mentioned earlier, it said that it was annual, so time is 1 year. So we can say times 1. Plus the principal for the 5% account, right here, that's how much we put in, is 2x, times the rate as a decimal is 0.05. Again, we put in for 1 year, and our total interest, as we said earlier, total interest right here is $1,885. So we have $1,885. Now we'll solve this equation for x. Okay, so we have 0.045x plus 0.1x is equal to 1,885. Combine like terms, so 0.145x is equal to 1,885. Divide both sides by 0.145. So x is equal to 13,000. Now if we'll look back up at what our key told us, the original information that we filled out, right up here, we see that x represented the amount that was deposited, the 4.5% interest. So we'll want to go back and say the amount deposited at the 4.5% interest was $13,000. and then we would say the amount deposited at 5% interest. Let's slide back up to see what our key says. 5% interest we see was found by looking at 2x. Since we now know what x is, we can say for the 5% is 2x, which is 2 times 13,000. So if we multiply that out, we get $26,000. And that completes our problem. We've answered the question where it says what was the amount deposited at each rate.